Hello.
Oh, buddy.
How are you, fellas?
Oh, howdy.
What's up,
It's been
Dalton?
a minute.
Yeah, it's been, good two years.
Yeah, a couple years.
Probably more. I think it's been about 3, buddy.
Yikes.
Never forget that little bit of stick hockey,
Yeah,
No.
not a big deal. A little ball hockey around the old parts.
Oh yeah,
Well-
it was a good time.
Good time,
Well,
quality.
welcome everyone to episode 13 of South of the Blue Line. We have a special episode. First off, we are missing Chris again. He is still on his cruise. He will be back. However, we have our first guest on the show. Welcome, Kyle.
Hello. How do you do?
Yay!
Yay! So, me and Kyle went to high school together. We played lots of hockey together. Isn't that right,
Lots of
buddy?
hockey. Plenty.
Lots of hockey. Lots of Genos, lots of apples.
Plenty of apples. Big apple guy.
Big
Lots of Pims, that's for sure.
Yeah, of course.
No shortage. No shortage there.
So Kyle actually this season is his last season of high school hockey, Dalton, and his team is absolutely destroying this season.
Tearing it up.
You picked up some of the tips I left you?
Oh yeah, one or two.
You want to give us a little breakdown of how your season's going there, buddy?
Yeah, we are. Let me go pull up the stats real quick.
Oh boy, the old Google machine's out early today.
We only have so far. I'll tell you. So we played our last regular season game last night. 11-0 dub. Not a big deal. 2 Genos for yours truly. Nothing too big.
Yeah, not a big deal.
We played George Jenkins though, so it's.
Oh, okay.
They're
a trash team.
Yeah,
they only won one
George
game.
Jenkins.
But all right, so let's go to standings. So we have 37 points on the year, 22 games played, 17 W's, 2 losses, and 3 ties.
Ooh. Now, were the 2 losses personally your fault?
No. So I'll give you a little tidbit, a little insight on the Steinbrenner Warriors. The coach, Dan B. Bubbly, what a guy.
What
Unbelievable.
a guy.
If you ever met him, you wouldn't forget it.
Dalton, I believe I've told you the story about the coach that told me I was the least talented hockey player he's ever met.
Yep, same guy.
I don't know if you have or not, but man, that's wow.
Okay. So we'll tell the story real quick, just so you get a little insight into this guy's
Little
mind.
tidbit on Dan
So
B.
my senior year, my last high school game ever. I'd only played 2 years of high school, but we were horrible that season. I think we won maybe 3 games. We were not very good. We got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. I didn't play very much, and when I did play, it was all penalty kill. Really sacrificing the body for the boys.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, there were 2 seniors on the team, me and our captain was nasty.
Connor Goff, what a beauty.
Yeah, Connor Goff, absolute beaut. Registered beautician.
One could say.
Yeah, one could say. So, coach comes into the locker room after the loss, yells at us for the loss. Then he goes, "I want to thank our seniors," and he goes on this beautiful speech about how Connor Goff is unreal. Which I
What a
agree with.
leadership.
I
What a talent.
Listen, I 100% agree. Totally deserved. Then he turns to me and goes, "Michael," this is in front of everyone in the locker room. He goes, "Michael, you're probably the least talented hockey player I've ever met, but you play with heart."
Oh, a little bit of a backhanded compliment.
What a dagger. What a
Oh,
dagger.
dear.
It was pretty brutal.
We were all stunned.
At least he told you that in the last game, not the first game you ever played for him.
Yeah, it's
Oh, the first time I ever met the guy. Freshman year tryouts. He calls me to let me know I'm not making the team. Right? Tells me I'm making JV, and he goes, "Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you this. You're not going to make the team. You're not going to play on this team until you lose a couple pounds. You're too fat for this team."
Oh,
yeah. The stat
Tough
you're
words.
hearing there is Dalton's mouth hitting the floor.
he doesn't really hold anything back, eh?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
None of it.
So
There's no coding at all.
So that's the coach of the team. So continue with your story there, Kyle.
Yeah, so I don't quite play as much as I would like, but so those 2 losses, I had my fair share of bench time. Oh, wow, actually, one of them I was still on the IR for.
Yeah, Kyle started.
The other
Kyle
one
started the season on the IR. He had he separated his shoulder in tryouts.
Yeah, separated my AC joint, got flipped. That was a tough one. I was out 8 weeks on that.
That's a rough one right there, especially in tryouts too.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. One of the guys trying out.
A little dirty, cheap shot, but we'll let it go.
Yeah.
We'll let it roll off the back.
But okay, so you guys finished the regular season, and you guys finished with 37 out of a possible 44 points.
Yes. Yep.
That is not too shabby, my dude.
Yeah, not too bad. We're first in the league by a little bit.
Heavy favorites going into the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, so we got a couple of juniors guys who miss every once in a while, and they're some pretty good players. So we're hoping they can be there for the whole playoffs. So not this coming week, but the week after. We have a game on Wednesday. If we win that, we have a game on Friday. If we win that, we play at Amalie Arena, the home of your Tampa Bay Lightning.
Really?
On Sunday for the championship game. Big game.
The Lightning have taken over the high school hockey leagues, and because of that, it means all of the real big games or whatever get played on the Amalie ice. So I've played on the Amalie ice once.
Man, why did I play hockey down there instead? It's way more fun, dude.
Yeah, it's a little less challenging, but
yeah, Dalton, you'd be first line in our butt.
Well, I mean,
of course,
I'd hope so. I'm also older than every single high school kid by at least 3 years, so
that's true.
Very true there, buddy. All right. So we introduced our special guest, Kyle. You got any shameless plugs you want to throw in there?
Nothing big, I'm just out here living the dream.
Hashtag Rollstein.
Doing what we can. Hashtag Rollstein.
You got to get this episode put up on the Rollstein Twitter. Let them know.
Rollstein. Oh yeah, I'll get triple.
Yeah, exactly. Let them know one of the players is being interviewed.
Yeah, big time. We're making it big.
All right, boys. So we're gonna hop into our regular scheduled programming. So Kyle, what we like to do here is, so as you know, because Kyle is an avid listener,
big time.
We go over the past week's games, Edmonton and Winnipeg, and I actually have one Lightning game written down because I'd like to get your take on it.
Yeah. It was a game.
Yeah. So actually, why don't we start there? We'll start there. So the Lightning lose. I believe it was 4-2 to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh.
Yeah. The tough battle. It's a good division game.
Yeah.
Everybody was a little hyped for it. I was expecting, bit better of a showing, but it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad game to watch. Obviously, Point started the scoring. It was a pretty good goal. It was okay.
It was a PPG, right?
Yep, a little wrister off the power play. He's that bumper in the middle there. He plays on the power play.
Absolutely deadly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, but he's gonna be a big guy, guy coming forward as long as we can re-sign him.
We'll get to the contract situation later in the epi, buddy.
Okay, sorry, I mean to skip ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm just giving a little foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to write an essay on this at the end of the podcast too. Don't forget about that.
I will do. 100%. I'll submit it.
So then I'm pretty sure. So Point scored, and then I believe Kadri scored.
Kadri.
Yeah,
Kadri from Kapanen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kapanen can fly, dude.
Geez, the kid's got wheels.
Yeah.
They were talking about it. I was looking at it. Was an interview, and they were asking him, and he said, "Oh yeah, me and my dad all the time talk about who's faster, me or him in his prime." And they always joke about it, so that's good. It's always fun to see the guys coming back.
Yeah.
A little alumni action.
Yeah.
Like Domi. Did you see Ty Domi the other day?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that too. There.
Sweaters. Jeez. Yeah. So I mean, the game was hard fought. It was a pretty close game till the end.
Yeah.
Where and then Marner put it, or it was Hyman. Hyman put it home.
Yeah.
On the empty netter.
Yeah, okay, I actually have a question about the empty netter because a bunch of people were pissed about it because I believe they were complaining it went out or hit a microphone.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. I didn't actually catch that last bit. I missed that last bit. So I didn't get time to relook at that, but I did see a couple of the pages I follow were talking about it, and people were a little angry. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, you either lose 4-2
it was
or
close,
3-2.
but yeah. I mean, it was there was the last minute. I mean, yeah, a minute makes a difference, but
especially for a team like Tampa, right?
Right. I mean, they do like to play a lot, real tough in the third period. You like to keep everybody on the edge of the seat, wait till right to the end,
Of course.
and then they'll put one home on just out of nowhere, and you're like, okay, where was that? 10 minutes ago to take the edge off. But
yeah, I've done that. I've done that to a couple Edmonton games. Like we'll be losing like 4-3, and I'll be like, "All right, game's over. Turn it off." And I'll get a notification on my phone going overtime. I'm like, "What? What happened?"
Guess I better flip her back on.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well,
so I believe and Leafs are 1-1 on the season series.
Yes,
and
correct.
This obviously, like you said, had potential playoff implications. How are you feeling if you run into this team in the playoffs?
I feel that we have a little bit of an advantage on I think our team's a little bit more veterans, a couple more older guys. So I think we'll have the edge on that. And I think, Vasi's a little more reliable in the playoffs than Freddie would be. He's a good goalie. Freddie Anderson's a good goalie, but I think Vasi's just got him by that little bit.
Yeah, I feel like
that makes a big difference in the playoffs.
Tampa's a bit more defensive as well, I feel.
Yeah,
that's true.
Tampa's got more depth. I honestly probably give goaltending to Toronto in this one.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah, just because.
Take Freddie.
Well, also I kind of saw how Vasilevsky was playing last year in the playoffs a little bit, right? It's just such a long season for him. Maybe this year he'll figure out a little bit more, but
yeah, I think last year, it was still like that a couple seasons into him really taking over that starter role, because once we got rid of Bishop, he just kind of got thrown into the starter role, whereas they were playing kind of tandem before. So I don't think he was quite conditioned yet for the whole season. But I think this year he'll figure it out.
I definitely give Tampa the edge, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I do too.
Any time you can put somebody's second line up against all these other first lines and not even worry about it at all, it's scary. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. They're scary.
Although I do feel Toronto is one of the few teams in the league that can roll four lines with Tampa.
I definitely agree. They do have a lot of that offensive presence.
Yeah, right. So I think the tipping point for me to give it to Tampa is their defense.
Yeah. It's just a little bit more depth defensively.
A little bit more. It's just steadier. Like they're just better defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So then jump into Oilers Jets games that we had last week. So Dalton, first off, I'd like to let you know, you issued me a challenge last week, and I crushed you in a score of 4-1.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Get punted, bud.
Oh, I've been on a little bit of a cold streak since Christmas here.
So with Chris out, we bring the score to 3-2, so a little bit more respectable.
Yeah. You're almost there. One more week
there.
of. Well, I don't know. How are we gonna do it this week?
Well, I put Kyle in just for fun, add a little bit of a change up there, just to see what his takes are.
Okay.
Yeah. So first off, we start the week with a Oilers lose to the Coyotes 3-2 in regulation.
That game was garbage, dude. Holy.
Oh, my goodness. I wanted another game where we beat them pretty handily. I think it was 3-1 a couple weeks ago. And then just not a good effort from the boys.
Yeah, and that's with the Yotes with their backup goaltender as well, because their starters
goaltender, and I believe they have 7 of their starters are injured.
Yeah, and that was not quite a fully healthy Oilers team. Of course, they're still missing Klefbom and Sekera.
Yeah. That was also the game that Connor Garland got cross-checked in the back, and then while he was getting up, took a puck to the head to redirect it in.
Oh. Guy's a beauty.
Got a sick goal.
That was all over my Twitter feed of a real hockey player goal.
Yeah, now he's wearing a fishbowl.
So not a good game. Kind of erasing that one from the memory, to be honest.
I already don't remember what happened in it, other than it was terrible.
Yeah, me too. Then the Jets beat the Ducks 4-3 in overtime to extend the Ducks' losing streak to 11.
Yeah, yikes.
I will say, spoiler alert, the Ducks did end up beating Minnesota 3-2 later in the week to stop their losing streak at, I believe, 12 games.
Yeah, franchise record for them by far.
God bless. And don't worry, we'll get to the Ducks later in the episode because I know they've been doing a lot of stuff.
Getzlaf was tweaked about it.
Yeah,
he was pissed, dude.
I read some of the quotes last week when they had hit 10 games, but he was not a happy guy.
He was not a happy camper.
All right, then we got the Oilers dismantling the Buffalo Sabres 7-2.
Yeah, huge game there. 2 by Cassian.
2 Luch.
Hey, did Cassian ever end up shaving that lip lettuce?
No, I still got the little
Still
duster.
rocking
it?
I think
Well,
so.
you know, he grows it back so fast, he'll shave it all off, and then next game he'll have it right back again.
No, what are you talking about? He'd shave in the morning, and by the third period, it's back, buddy.
Third period in a matinee game.
Exactly. So going into this game, Lucic had 1 goal on the season.
3 goals in the past year.
3 goals in all of 2018. Dalton, last episode, predicted that Lucic would finish the season with 20 goals there, Kyle.
He's hitting 20. He's doing it.
Oh.
And
yeah?
I told him he was crazy, and then Lucic goes out and scores 2 in a game. So Lucic, confirmed listener.
Yeah. Well, you know, Lucic.
Amusing stat I saw. Lucic is beating William Nylander right now in points. 2019.
In 2019, Lucic has beaten Matthews and Nylander combined.
Yeah, it's a rough look.
Well, you know, Lucic called me up on New Year's Eve, and he's just like, Dalton, I'm making a New Year's resolution for this year. And he decided he wanted to be less of a bad hockey player and more of a good one. And honestly, it's really turned out so far. It's been
Great decision. Maybe I should have done that.
I look forward to seeing what he does tonight.
Yeah, keep us updated.
Yeah, you know,
for sure.
I've been snapping him a little bit, so it's gonna be good.
Of course.
Perfect.
I bet Lucic's Snapchat name is like Boston and then the number 4 and then ever.
And then it's all. There's also a little bit of a Vancouver sucks thing at the end there as well.
Yeah.
Hashtag Vancouver sucks.
Yeah. So then the Jets beat the Knights 4-1. We obviously don't have Chris, so I didn't watch this game. I don't think Dalton, did you watch this game?
I didn't watch this game.
Kyle, perchance, did you watch this game?
No, buddy, I don't get the Western games all that much.
All right, let's have opinions on the game anyways.
Yeah. Well, so here's what I do know. Brossoit played.
I did predict that, though.
There you go.
Brossoit played in this game, Dolph.
Did he?
He did, and he only, again, 1 goal.
Brossoit is probably my least favorite goaltender in the league.
Well, 1 goal on 44 shots, though. So.
Oh, he's got the stats. He was prepared.
I pulled it out. I looked it up.
Wow. Back to the Google machine.
I'm on the NHL app.
Yeah. So,
not a big deal.
Kyle, do you know where Brossoit originates?
I do not.
So,
One would
Brossoit
assume.
was drafted by the Flames, then traded as a prospect to the Oilers, like a year into him being drafted, like that year sort of thing. And
I see the
he
salt.
was our
Yes.
backup for a while, and we traded him
Because he was
do now
garbage.
understand.
because he was
Salt.
bad for the Oilers. And now, I believe do you have Brossoit's stats up, Kyle, per chance?
No, I'm sure I could find them. But...
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Brossoit, NHL. Let's see what he's got.
Seems like you guys have a rough luck with trading away goalies that aren't doing so hot with you.
Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to trading one of Koskinen and Talbot, and then whichever one we trade ends up being a Vezina caliber goaltender, and the other one isn't in the NHL next season. It's gonna be great, dude.
It's gonna be great.
All right, so are you guys ready to hear Brossoit's stats for the 2018-2019 season?
Give her.
Let's hear him.
All right, Brossoit currently is 10-1-1. with a
Okay.
2.01 goals against and
Not
a
terrible.
9.33 save percentage.
Oof. That's up there.
Oof.
That's up there.
So, shout out to the Oilers for doing another stellar job.
Way to go, Peter.
Yeah. No, Peter was going. Yeah, he did trade him. That's right. Although I will say it's not just Sherrod's fault. We also did a horrible job at developing him.
Yeah, it was kind of weird when he played because he only really played when Talbot was injured, and then he played every game, and then Talbot came back, and then he played no games. So
yeah, exactly. And then in the like 50 games he was thrown into, we'd be up like 6-1 to the Flames and end up barely winning the game 7-6.
oh God, yeah, I remember that one game last year where it was just like we were winning by so much. It was just insane.
Were crushing them, and then literally in the last 10 minutes they came within one. We scored an empty netter, and then they scored one more to make the empty netter the game winner.
Yeah,
that is the worst.
And every goal was awful too, like so savable. Every single goal the Flames scored, it was just...
Yeah. I remember the one that I knew that it was going to go bad. I think was like Johnny Gaudreau took like a shot from the goal line and it goes 5-hole, and I was like, oh no,
yeah,
oh no.
Yeah, so we didn't have a lot of confidence in him. That's basically the gist of it.
But Brossoit is now killing it, and that is all I think we can take away from the 4-1 win. All right, moving on. The Oilers beat the Canucks 3-2 in a shootout.
Ooh, this was actually like quite a fun game to watch.
It was a good game to watch. I agree, 100%. First off, I believe the Oilers scored first, didn't they?
Yeah, Jujhar Khaira with a goal of the year candidate.
Oh yeah, the shorty. I don't know if you saw this one, Kyle, but Jujhar Khaira on the shorthanded comes in, kind of has a little spin move. Nugent Hopkins is up there with him and is in the corner looking for the pass, and all the defenders thought Jujhar Khaira was going to give it to Nuge below the goal line. And Jujhar Khaira just does one of those little stride dekes on the forehand to cut to the middle, and then absolutely sweeps it.
Just lights them up all the while, like pushing off defenders the entire time.
Yeah, absolute fantastic.
Just pure power moves there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jujhar Khaira is definitely a power forward, and that he showed it right there, and some hands too.
I'm worried that we're gonna be dumb and not protect Jujhar when the Seattle comes in the league.
God, dude, they didn't protect him for the Vegas thing, and thank God Vegas took Griffin Reinhart.
He wasn't as good though then, but now
Reinhart.
No kidding, dude.
Man.
Oh man,
what a bust!
Don't even talk to
me
about Reinhart.
We can't bring it up again. There's too many.
I'll know what those picks we traded away turned into.
Also, like, man, I'd really like a Matthew Barzal right about now.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just a little bit.
Fine. Take out Barzal. You know who else I'd like? Anthony Beauvillier. That'd be fun, too.
Yeah, I know. Beauvillier ain't a bad player.
Anyways.
He's pretty good.
trying to put the soul away.
Yeah, if there's too much salt, this episode's going to be 3 hours long.
We're going to have to hold the Mortons, boys.
Yeah, yep. Then Canucks, I believe, tie it up on the power play. Not playing in this game. That should be a quick note.
Because he is disgusting.
He's so good. He's still out after Kotkaniemi went on his little bit of assassinations attempt to try and win the Calder.
Yeah. Though I will say, while Pettersson's been out, Kotkaniemi has been looking pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Did you see his goal against Florida?
I did. That was. Oof.
Oh, the power move to the front and then just toe drag on Reimer, unreal.
Wow, what a hold on that, man! Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like he put a little pocket on the end.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, goes into overtime.
And you forgot about the McDavid goal first.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. McDavid on the power play, even though it wasn't a power play goal, basically. McDavid comes in. The Vancouver's kind of changing. McDavid just comes in, snipes it, top shedder from like 30 feet out between the defender's legs, and then just kind of looks and is like, "Oh, it went in." All right.
Yeah. Beautiful goal. So nice. Use the defenseman's legs as a screen. He was basically 1-on-4 going into the zone as well.
Yeah.
It was just a classic McDavid goal for the Oilers, basically.
Yeah. McDavid bailing him out. The power play had looked horrible, and then McDavid's like, I guess I'll pad stats a little bit.
Yeah, I guess I'll win the game all by myself.
Yeah. Oh, man. Goes overtime, 2-2, and I had a heart attack the full 5 minutes.
God, dude. Nurse.
There was a 3-on-1 at one point. Backhander goes through Koskinen. Nurse clears it off the goal line with his stick. Then it's like chopped back on net. Then he kicks it out. Then McDavid immediately passes up to Draisaitl for a breakaway, who, I don't know, why does Draisaitl not deke? He never dekes.
Yeah, I don't really know. He's such good hands on him, too, but maybe I guess he's trying to fool him.
But I've never seen him deke on breakaways. Like, he always tries the shot.
I don't know. Some people just have it's like their go-to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, listen, I got my go-to. You know what it is, Kyle?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Oh, you know
forehand, backhand, 5-hole.
Hell yeah.
Sorry to tell all the goalies out there.
It's all right. Don't worry. It never
Ruined your secret. It never worked.
Well, see, next time it'll be like little forehand, backhand, back to the forehand again, and he'll go.
Oh.
Well, what I've started doing now, just to keep giving away my my breakaway moves here, is what I've started doing is instead of trying to go forehand, backhand, I come in from the off wing, right? So I'm starting backhand. And then what I do is I flip backwards, so I'm kind of going backwards, and go forehand, pull it back to the backhand, but my body's going backwards, and then stuff it 5-hole.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of like a hybrid forehand, backhand with the Forsberg a little bit, but you keep two hands on the stick.
Oh,
sure.
Did you see the shootout goal of the man who did the Forsberg, but instead with his one hand on the stick passed it back to himself and then sniped on it?
Yeah, I did.
He almost whiffed on that shot, though. He almost whiffed on the shot.
Yeah, he did. No, did you see Hoffman pulled Forsberg off against Niemi?
Yeah.
He likes that one.
Oh, dude, he's done it a few times. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's such a good move. When you pull it off, you know that everyone, like that goalie hates himself as soon as you score like that. It's just so sweet.
Yeah. And like his arm length is just long. Like, see, my biggest problem is my arms aren't long enough, so even when I hold my stick out, goals still get a toe on it if I try it. But like I guess his arm length is just long, like just the perfect length to get it past that toe.
Yeah. I mean, you could do like the Barkov thing where you just have a really, really long stick, and then you'd be able to do it.
Also true, you could do that. All right, back to so overtime goes, no one scores. Bo Horvat toe drags Jujhar Khaira into the next life. Stopped by Koskinen, who by the way was playing unreal.
Lights out.
Though props to Markstrom, he was also playing really well.
God, he had such a good game. Markstrom did.
He did. Then goes to a shootout. Nugent Hopkins does his little fake where he just holds it, and Markstrom stops him with a scorpion kick.
Lucky, honestly, Markstrom's so lucky there. Newtown is so bad.
He is. Then Koskinen shuts down every Vancouver shooter. McDavid gets stopped on his normal move, which was a little disappointing to see, but I mean, I guess whatever.
Markstrom played that really well, I thought, too. You could tell he watched a lot of tape on the Oilers shootout before this.
Yeah, he did. And then Oilers savior of the year, Alex Chiasson, snipes him.
Yeah, just walks right in, basically, kind of on his off wing, right to the slot, picks the top shed. Easy as that.
Yep. All right, and then last game of the week, Jets played the Preds 5-1. This is a rematch of the season of the second round, I believe.
Yep.
And I actually watched the first two periods of this game.
Oh, excellent! Then we'll actually know something.
Yeah. This was a great game. I will say the Predators have not been playing very well lately, like they did at the beginning of the season. However, they were kind of all over the Jets there for a little bit. Hellebuck was holding the fort, thank God.
As per the usual.
Yeah. Well, not really, not this season.
It's been a little bit off for him.
A little lackluster this season.
A little on and off, but playing well.
But when he shows up, he shows up.
Yeah, and the team is so good in front of him, it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah. There was a couple goals. There was a goal called off. It was 1-1, and then the Jets score on a power play, and then it was called back. Line was offsides on the entry, so they go to second period, tied 1-1. And actually, to be honest, the bottom two lines of the Jets are what won the game for the first goal was scored by Brandon Lemieux had 2 goals. I don't know what the difference is there. Maybe it might just be like youth speed or whatever. But like the reason the Jets won this game is their third and fourth lines were all over the Predators because the first lines are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I see. Brandon figured out he was actually the real Lemieux.
Yeah. So Jets skate away with a pretty convincing 5-1 win.
Smashing them.
All right, so now we can move on to league news. So first off, we will start with some small things. You guys have actually already kind of talked about it a little bit. Max and Ty Domi did a little video. I don't know if you guys watched the whole video, but
I did not see the video. I just saw the pictures.
It shot Leafs Nation into absolute hysterics because Ty Domi was in a full Canadian gear.
Oh dear, that's sacrilegious.
What a betrayal!
Right there.
What a betrayal!
Yeah, I mean,
you can't do that.
It's his son though. What are you gonna do?
Wear a Leafs jersey still.
And it was funny because they were playing like keep away there. I watched the whole video. It was actually a really good video, and they were playing keep away there for a little bit. And man, Max Domi's hands, filthy.
Well, he went to once he got traded over to Montreal. Jeez, kid's been on it.
Well, he figured.
But I would say no one really predicted that though, because I did not predict Domi to be as good on Montreal as he has been.
No, I did not either.
Well, I mean, like he's basically doubling his production this season, right? That's insane.
Yeah.
Like I thought he was going to do a little better maybe in Montreal, just because Montreal.
Him and Drouin have just totally clicked.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I believe the other guy on that line is Thomas Tatar. So I mean, it's a pretty solid line just all around. It's obviously not the best line of hockey, but like they're feeling it right now.
Tatar.
Yeah. So yeah, Max and Ty Domi were in the video. They were playing a bit, and it was actually pretty funny because at the end they were talking and they were like, and he was like, Ty was like, obviously my temper and my fire and my fighting from me, obviously. He's like at one point in the video, he was like, Max like dangled him and he goes, yeah, I'll still beat the shit out of you though.
Yeah. Did you see the other night when they were playing Boston? He was looking to drop him with Chara. He was looking to go.
All right, Domi.
I was like,
just
you're
chill.
wild.
Honestly, I could see him doing it 100%, but man, would he get his shit kicked in?
Oh, of course. I'm not saying he would win. I'm just saying he was looking to go, and I'm like, you are nuts.
But like, how many guys in the league, first of all, would even fight Chara? Because, well, I guess Maroon would, because he just did like 2 games ago. But like, that man's 6'9". Who's stepping up on that guy?
The reach on that guy's insane.
Yeah, like, you can't touch him. You should be allowed to keep your stick in your hands if you're fighting Chara, because then that's the only way it's fair.
Just send him off.
Fill the thrill.
Yeah, fill the thrill on John Scott.
Yeah.
All right. So then, actually, in the Jets Preds game, Ryan Johansson chops down Mark Scheifele and gets suspended 2 games.
2, right? He got a 2 on that one.
Yeah, I believe it just came out either today or tomorrow. I'm going to watch it right now so we can get some raw reaction right here.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here. Fast forward. Okay, so they're in a battle along the boards. I mean, dude, he just, are you watching it right now too, Dalton?
I already watched it. It's pretty bad.
So they're both in a battle, right? Scheifele's kind of draped all over him. He's kind of fending him off, and then it looks slashes him right in the neck.
Yeah, I just don't really. Where did that come from? Like,
I think if I'm looking at it, like, I don't think he meant to hit him in the head. Like,
just get mad about it.
I think he meant to try and like maybe chop the stick out of his hands. Like the way he looked down is he thought that his head wasn't going to be there, his stick was going to be on the other side.
Natural.
And so he just kind he came down to try and chop the stick out of his hands, and he just brings it down right on the middle of his throat.
It's an easy mistake to make, throat, stick,
Yeah.
basically the same thing.
Oh,
Same
man,
thing.
he
I mean, Scheifele's got a long neck, so, Oh, my gosh.
is Scheifele out because of this play?
I don't think so. I haven't really heard anything about it.
I don't think so either. So, what do you guys think? 2 games, fair? I think it's totally fair. Like, he could have gotten
agree.
more.
Yeah,
I think he's a first-time offender, no?
Yeah.
He did spearing against Kessler, I think, in the playoffs, but I don't know if he actually got
Yeah, but I
suspended
don't
for
think he
it.
gets suspended for that.
Yeah.
I think he only got it's Kessler, so I mean he shouldn't be.
Well, yeah.
And he forfeits $86,021.50.
For 2 games, my dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably
for
a
me.
fair
That's
suspension.
a chunk. For him, that's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Well, that's more than I'll make in like the next 3 years.
Is that
Yep,
86K American or Canadian?
I believe it's American.
American.
Oh, so that's like $200,000 Canadian. Sweet, dude.
So yeah, we all agree. I mean, pretty.
Yeah.
Good, huh?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
cut and dry play there.
Yeah.
I mean, he turned around. If he turned around and he tried to lift his stick and caught his face maybe on the stick lift and like the toe hit him in the face. That's that's one thing.
Yeah,
but he turned around and just came across him.
Yeah.
From low to high is different, but he came from high onto the guy's head.
Yeah, I mean that looked like me making a lacrosse play, just chopping it at him.
Yeah.
Tomahawking that boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, moving on. Taylor Hall will not be at the All-Star game.
Still injured. He's had so many injuries this year.
Yeah, he's kind of been injury prone his whole career.
Yeah. Well, when he skates so fast he does, and he just can't stop, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that one play in Edmonton when he got literally his face got stepped on.
Yeah. It wasn't so pretty anymore.
No, not so
Are
pretty
you kidding
anymore.
me? Still a man rocket.
Yeah, fair enough.
Scar only made him hotter.
What a beauty.
Yeah. Kyle Palmieri will be replacing him at the All-Star game.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for Nico, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not. Palmieri has been leading them in goal scoring. He's been on
He has had a pretty good year.
Yeah, Palmieri might deserve it more, but just kind of like when I think of the New Jersey Devils,
the star factor kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. Like Nico's definitely like he's going to be the next face of the franchise kind of thing, right? So he's also sick.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's nasty. Kid's pretty good.
Unpopular opinion: they should have sent Keith Kincaid.
Old kinky boy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know about it, boss.
Who's the goalies in that division?
In the Metro?
Yeah. It's
Kincaid, Hank.
No, like who's actually going to the All-Star game? Henrik is one for sure.
Yeah.
It's Henrik and.
Did they send Murray? Did they send Murray?
No, they sent Howard.
No, I didn't think so.
It's Howard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Kinky should go instead of Howard, and then they should send Larkin as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so then there's some Oilers headlines. Oilers are reportedly in full court press mode. Which is absolutely terrifying to hear, knowing who's leading the full court press.
First round pick is in play.
I did see that.
So from what I've heard, the first round pick is in play. Yeah. A young developing forward is in play. We all know who that is.
Apparently, though, there's the Oilers told Puljujärvi's camp that he is not going to be traded.
Oh, okay.
So,
that makes me feel a little.
Yeah, I don't know how much trust I really put in that report.
So here's my next question. Would it be Yamamoto?
God, I would be so mad, dude. Like, I'd be more mad if they traded Yamamoto than if they trade Puljujärvi.
See, I'm the opposite. I'd be more mad if they trade Puljujärvi than Yamo.
I think you're going to get more back for Puljujärvi, but I think he's more of a risk right now as well.
Yeah.
Like, because like Yamamoto at this point, you basically know he's not going to be a bust. Like he's good enough defensively that he could play third line his entire career. It would suck, but he could do it.
Yeah.
Or Puljujärvi, like some games, dude, I'm like, how are you even on the team?
Well, in the Vancouver game, he barely played. He played under 10 minutes.
It's just, what do you do with Jesse Puljujärvi? I don't know, dude.
Put him on the power play. Put him on the power play. Put him on the power play. I've been yelling that since we drafted him. Put him on the power play.
Is he what's Puljujärvi, a righty?
Yeah,
He's a righty, and
Put him
literally
on that left circle.
that's where they should put him.
That's what I'm saying. When we drafted Puljujärvi, I went in, and I do this with every high Oilers draft pick. I did it with Bouchard. I did it with Yamamoto. I went in, and I looked up their highlights, and I'm sitting there looking at their highlights. Like 50% of Puljujärvi's highlights were either from the World Juniors when Finland won gold. Granted, he was playing on a line with Aho and Laine, but he led the tournament in scoring.
Yeah, Aho's.
And
That's
so good.
line.
Rantanen is on that team too.
But he led that tournament in scoring, and almost all his goals were playing because Laine was on it. Laine was obviously taking the one-timers from the low slot,
right?
But he was taking it. He was playing almost in the left D position, kind of in between where the defenseman would sit up high and between Laine, and he would also take one-timers. And then on his team in Finland, he took one-timers.
Yeah,
from that side.
And he's got a sick 1T too. Like, it's awesome.
I've talked about this before on the podcast. Put Nuge in the middle. You put Clefbaum up top. You put McDavid on the right. You put Draisaitl on the goal line. And you put Puljujärvi on the left. And we have a unstoppable power play because McDavid or Nuge can just feather the pass across. Draisaitl's down low. Clefbaum can bomb it on. McDavid can thread passes to Puljujärvi, and he can just take one-timers. Put him on the power play. Put him on the power play.
Hey, Michael, do you want Puljujärvi on the power play or something?
Just a little bit.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I kind of felt like he was saying he wanted Puljujärvi on the AHL power play.
You know what? That's fine. We're only playing him 6 minutes a night. Put him in the AHL development.
Nah, just bench him.
Also in play, I heard, is a goalie, meaning Cam Talbot because Koskinen has a no move.
Well, Koskinen could wave.
No, Koskinen's not going to wave it. It's totally Talbot. So I watched Sportsnet, Hockey Central, and when they were talking about this headline or whatever, and Elliot Friedman was on, and they were talking about, okay, so all this stuff is in play. What are the Oilers obviously looking to get back? And the obvious areas of it are top 4 defense, and top 6 forwards, speed forwards. And so there was a lot of talk about maybe a Wayne Simmons or a Tarasenko. And then I heard and then I heard Jamie Benn.
Wait, Jamie Benn is up in, dude.
Yeah,
Jamie Benn.
Jamie Benn's horseshit. Haven't you heard?
Yeah, dude. I wish I was horseshit. You kidding me?
Man, I would love a Jamie Benn on the Oilers. Holy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure but anybody in the league would take Jamie Benn.
Well, no kidding. He's such a complete player, right? He does everything, and he does it so good.
Yeah, and there's nowhere is he a defensive liability at all, and he nips.
He nips.
He snipes, passes. He absolutely crushes people.
Yeah.
So and honestly,
he'll open ice anywhere.
I would not be surprised if Chiarelli is more interested in Jamie Benn over Tarasenko or Simmons because he's obviously got the skill. He's not slow, and then he fulfills Chiarelli's grit chart.
Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like if you combine Tarasenko and Simmons, you would get a Jamie Benn.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, moving on. Lots of trades. Trade deadline is coming up, so we had a few trades, most of them involving the Anaheim Ducks, because, as I said, they lost 12 in a row, set a franchise
trying to
record.
fix that 12.
Still won't fire the coach.
Okay,
it's not his fault. Listen, it's not his fault.
First trade, Minnesota gets – so the Ducks trade Pontus Aberg to the Wild in exchange for Justin Kluse. Now, this was a horrible trade on Anaheim's part, considering Pontus Aberg was second in the team in goal scoring, and Justin Kluse isn't playing in the NHL.
Okay, to be fair, a little bit in Anaheim's credit, they did pick up Aberg on waivers this year already. So getting anything for him is a good thing, but man, you got to think his value is a little higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's second on the team in scoring, but I heard he was still getting healthy scratch. So do you think maybe Aberg had locker room issues?
Well, he was, remember, scratched for a game in Edmonton because of that, for sure.
Right. So do you think maybe there is like some truth to that?
I feel like there has to be, because he's a fast, skilled forward that can put the puck in the net. Like, you're playing him every single time you can, unless there's some sort of off-ice issues.
All right. Interesting. So, boys, in your opinion, who won the trade?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
I would say.
By a long shot.
All right, we all agree. Wonderful. All right, then the next day, now January 17th is where the Ducks GM, I don't think, put down his phone at all. He then traded Derek Grant to Pittsburgh. No. They trade
other way around.
Yeah, they trade Joseph Blandisi to Pittsburgh in exchange for Derek Grant. So I don't really know much about either of these players. I remember they were higher round picks that just they sort of never really broken in as well.
Yeah.
This trade just kind of seems like shuffling the deck chairs on a Titanic.
Yeah. Grant did play for the Ducks last year. Put up 25 and 60, which isn't bad considering he's put up 5 and 25 this year.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, so it kind of feels like, you remember when Chicago traded to get back Brandon Saad?
Yeah, I remember that.
It kind of feels like the same thing here for the Ducks. They're like, all right, well, this guy kind of worked last year, so maybe he'll work again this year. And so they're just trying things at this point, right?
That Saad trade was kind of a killer, though.
Oh my god, that's probably one of the worst trades I've ever seen. Like,
oh my god,
that or the Martin Erat for Philip Forsberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Washington fans are still pissed about it.
Oh man,
dude,
justifiably so.
Think about Philip Forsberg on the offense.
Jeez, where would you even put him on their power play for like Washington? Is he a second line PP guy for you? Because like they got so many.
I mean, you got Ovi, and
Ovi
then
on the right. You got Backstrom
Ovi on the left, Backstrom on the right.
Yeah. You're right. Carlson up top.
Mm-hmm. Is Kuznetsov in the middle?
Kuznetsov plays that bumper, doesn't he?
Kuznetsov plays the bumper, and Oshie plays that middle. So, sorry, Forsberg, you're running the second power play.
Jeez, I don't know if I...
Imagine having Philip Forsberg on your second line power play.
Like, I don't even know who would take off that first power play unit. Like, maybe Oshie would be, like, the only guy?
Yeah, Oshie's got the power on his shot. That's why they keep him there, I think.
Here's my question, though. Can you guys name who's on Washington's second line power play?
No.
All right.
Well, you see, it could have been Philip Forsberg.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so then later in the day, Anaheim gets Michael Del Zotto from Vancouver in exchange for defenseman Luke Shen and a 7th round pick.
A very lateral trade.
Luke Shen is in the AHL right now, not playing in the NHL. Michael Del Zotto
should be in the AHL.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Anaheim, I'm pretty sure, has given up their 7th round picks for this year and next. So I think the GM of Anaheim just doesn't want to be at the draft for as long. So he's just trading away his 7th round pick so he can just get out of there faster.
Yeah, well, smart. And then he'll trade away the 6th, and then he'll just trade away all the draft picks. And then they're going to do the draft.
Edmonton.
Well,
It's a strategy.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it works out.
Bold. He's ballless, Cotton. He doesn't have any balls.
Yo, that's like an NHL 19 strategy, though.
Yeah.
All
right, and then so here's one that does not involve the Ducks. Actually, no. Let's stay on the Ducks for a second. So the Ducks have made these sort of not like it's not really pushing the needle. Really,
yeah, they're not
anywhere.
Like big important trades.
I mean, maybe on their defense because their defense has been really ravaged with injuries. Del Zotto's not gonna change much. He's not a great defender, anyways.
No, it's just so much. It's just trading for the sake of trading. It feels like.
Is it to look busy? Try and blame someone other than the coach?
Maybe bring in a guy or two to the locker room, see if that fixes something. I guess.
Well, yeah, but honestly, what is Michael Del Zotto and Derek Grant gonna do to change the chemistry of a locker room?
Well, I mean, to Derek Grant's credit, he was there last year when they were a lot more successful. So maybe he's the missing piece.
Maybe he's the glue.
Or maybe it's Kessler getting 6 points in 40 games.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we talked about the Ducks last week when they were on their 10-game losing streak. They obviously shut out the Wild this week and broke it, but they're still in a free fall. Say obviously you're not going to lose 20 in a row, sort of thing. You're going to win games.
Right.
You're not going to finish the season 0-82.
But can they please? That'd be so funny.
That would be funny. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense in my eyes watching what they're doing.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to tread water at this point.
Yeah. Basically see if their team decides to make a miracle run before the trade deadline, and if not, basically stay the course, trade away. Yeah. I guess I don't even know who they could. Getzlav? Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I will say it has helped. Rickard Rakell has come back now, and he scored 2 goals in 2 games since he's been back from injury, but I don't think that will save them from their fall.
Yeah. Oh, isn't there a Cogliano trade too?
Oh, yeah. Yes, that is correct. I have that one. Here we go. Andrew Cogliano traded for Devin Shore.
Devin Shore.
Yep. Now, so this is one where I don't feel like they're trying to fix the locker room, because Andrew Cogliano has been a staple in the locker room. Either does anything, sort of live and dies for the team. A bit older. So, I mean, I guess it helps the Stars, but I don't really see how.
It kind of feels like the Stars are a little bit more in a win now mode, so that's kind of a win now trade. Except for I think Devin Shore might be better than Andrew Cogliano right now. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be the Lightning did this not last year, but I think 2 years ago, and they picked up Kunitz just to add a little veterancy to the team, maybe
a little veteran depth. But the thing is, the Lightning are in such a better position, I'm guessing, even then than the Stars are now, where are they a playoff team right now, or are they just on the bubble?
The Stars? The Stars are not a playoff team right now.
So they're bubble right now.
No, they are. I believe they are. I believe it is Minnesota and Dallas.
Are they in that wild card spot?
Yeah, I don't know. It changes every freaking day.
I don't know. There's so many. There's 9 teams that all have
Dallas is in that first wild card spot.
With 50, I believe, correct?
With 50, yeah.
And then it's
Vancouver in the second wild card spot.
Vancouver with also 50.
What?
Yeah.
So Edmonton wins the night.
And then 3 teams behind with 49 points.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's a dogfight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close one, that's for sure.
Yep. Yep. All right, moving on. Next trade, we have Victor Rask traded to Minnesota in exchange for Nino Niederreiter, who goes to the Carolina Hurricanes.
The big boy trade.
Yes, this was actually a big trade. 1-for-1. Hands down, I think Carolina ran away with this trade.
I absolutely agree with you, yeah.
Nino Niederreiter has scored 25 goals in the past. He still is doing decent. Let me fire up the old Google machine and see what his stats are looking like.
Fire it up.
Fancy stats-wise. Yeah, go for it, man. Fancy stat-wise, Niederreiter blows Rask out of the water.
Yeah, okay. I actually saw, I think, the same thing you're talking about. Nino Niederreiter, in his possession stats, is all positive. Every single of his possession stats improve teams. Victor Rask, on the other hand, his possession stats are all negative. So I guess the Wild don't want possession. I don't know.
Man, the Wild are such a weird team because I can't. Who would watch the Wild play? They play such boring hockey every single game.
Every year, they're just kind of that team that they'll go and they're good enough to make it to the playoffs, and they just fizzle out because they just play mediocre hockey.
Yeah, mediocre, very defensive hockey.
Yeah,
that's
they're
so
in that
boring.
they're in that middle ground. They're not a dumpster fire or superstars. There's just that purgatory in between where they're just kind of
Yeah,
and that's where the Wild reside.
Yeah, Dumba stepped up for them in a big way this year, though. So they've been playing
but
quite a bit better.
He is out. He's hurt, and he has no timetable on his return since he had surgery.
Yeah,
basically. But until he got knocked out for the season, they were playing pretty well.
Yeah, they weren't doing bad.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I have both of their fancy stats up.
Oh man.
Who would you like me to start with?
Yeah, you better start with Victor Rask so we can make fun of him.
Okay, here we go.
Start with the
Victor Rask has played no games for the Minnesota Wild yet, where Nina Ryder has played one game for Carolina.
So Nina Ryder won the trade.
In 2018-2019, Victor Rask has 26 games played, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points, -3, 4 pins. He is sitting at a come on, give me something. Here we go. Possession metrics. This is what we're looking for. He is sitting at on this season, a 46.9 Corsi.
That's terrible. 50 for those of you who don't know, like a 50 Corsi would be like an average player.
Yes. It's how much are you on the ice for shot attempts? So if you're on the ice for a shot attempt 4, that's good towards you, and so then they break that up into a percentage. So he is only. So that means, what is that? About 54% of the other time, the other team is having shot attempts on his net, which means the other team has possession.
Exactly.
Which is not good. All right, Nino Niederreiter. In 46 games played for the Minnesota Wild this season, he has 9 goals, 14 assists for 23 points in 46 games. He is a -11.
Yeah, he's minus though, isn't he?
Yeah, -11, 10 pins. And then possession, he is sitting at a 52.2.
Which is very nice.
Well, it's better than 46.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, Carolina runs away with this trade. He'll definitely solidify their top 6 a bit because Carolina is also kind of one of those one-line teams. They have that line of Aho and Teravainen, and then past that, they kind of fall. Nino Niederreiter will definitely fill out that bottom or that middle 6. Like the second, third line, middle 6.
Yeah,
I think I saw a video. Julian is Minnesota's coach now, isn't he? Right?
Claude Julien.
Or is it Bruce Boudreau?
It is Bruce Boudreau.
It is Boudreau. I saw a video and he was saying, "Oh yeah, it's just you can't have a $5 million player on your third line." I mean,
tell that to Edmonton.
Questionable. I guess. I mean, it's a little bit more to pay for a third line guy, but if he gets the job done, it is what it is, and that's what you already have agreed to. So,
yeah, it's something you want that guy playing up in your lineup, but if he gets forced down in your lineup, I think you should still be fine with it. Just because, like, at least that means that somebody else has played well enough to force him down the lineup.
Right.
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, maybe. You also could go Lucci Trout, and he's just played so bad that you can't put him anywhere else.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's a second liner now.
You're right.
He's getting 20 this year.
He's getting 20.
All
3 down, 17 to go.
All right, let's move on to a little bit of a lightning segment here. So I got up the Lightning's cap friendly. The Lightning are obviously killing it in the NHL right.
Pretty good year.
If I look, the Lightning are sitting at top of the league at 36-10-2 with 74 points on the season.
Yep. We're quite a distance between second place.
Yes.
Yeah, the Lightning have a chance this year to have the most points ever recorded.
Yeah, they are.
See if they, keep it going. But
yeah. So now I'm looking at their cap situation. The Lightning have a cap space right now of $1.7 million in cap space.
Yeah.
So they are right up against the cap.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also 1.65 more than the Oilers have.
Oh, no. All right, so looking at this, you guys have a bunch of RFAs coming up because you guys have a bunch of rookies that. So first, we'll start with the big one, Braden Point.
Braden Point. I mean, you have to make room for that guy. You
You
gotta get rid of somebody to make room for him.
He is a stud. He is probably the best player out of his draft.
Yeah.
You want to know something that's real silly? Braden Point is the lowest paid player on the entire Lightning.
Yeah.
Entry-level contracts are nice.
Entry-level contract, baby.
So he's got all those bonuses that you don't see on there.
Yeah, he does have a few
it's
bonuses.
true, but the bonuses don't hit your cap, I believe.
They still do, but how it works is if your bonuses would cause you to go over the cap, you get that cap penalty next year.
Ah, okay. He's obviously going to hit all his bonuses, but he's still sitting at $686,000.
Yeah.
So what is he getting paid? 8 now?
I mean, he's a guy that gets at least over 6.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you got to compare him to like Draisaitl kind of thing, right?
Yeah, you give him Draisaitl money?
Well, I almost feel like he deserves more.
Yeah, I mean, he's well. The good part about Braden Point is he's an all around player. You can kind of put him wherever you want. He'll go.
Well, I remember him playing in the World Juniors a couple of years back, and like, man, you knew that kid was gonna be a stud from then.
Right.
And he's proven it every year. He's so good.
Yeah. Well, and so the worst part about him being an RFA next year is that there's a few contracts that kick in next year that are big jumps.
All right,
Cooch's bridge deal is over.
Oh shit. Okay. Here's what we got.
So that goes from 4.7 to 9.5.
So do you want me to run through the lineup or the roster right now?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, Stamkos is making 8.5 till 2024-25.
Yeah, it's a long contract, but
Ryan Callahan is making 5.8 until 2021.
That one still hurts a little bit.
Yeah, that's the main trade one right there for sure.
I think another one possible up for trade. Andre Palat is making 5.3 till 2023.
Yeah.
See, I probably keep that one. I think you have better ones to move out.
JT Miller is making 5.25 till 23-24.
I think that was a good sign.
Yeah, I agree. He adds a little bit of size.
Yeah, a little bit of size, and he's a great guy. He's not afraid to get in the corners.
Yeah, he clears.
But he still has enough skill
He's still got the scoring touch.
Pass and shoot. Yeah.
Yep. Tyler Johnson's making 5 till 24-25.
And then that's a deep contract.
Yeah.
It's a long one. It might be one.
However,
I want to move.
He does show up in the playoffs.
Yeah. He's probably worth the contract, but which is good because he's probably worth it to other teams as well.
Right.
Which means at least it's not a Lucic situation.
Yeah. Kucherov is making 4.76 right now, but next season,
which was a bridge deal that I could not understand.
Yeah. Next season, he makes 9.5 till I don't see an end here, so till the end of time.
I think it's an 8-year.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is the 27-28 season.
Yeah.
He is getting moved.
What's the Killorn contract like?
Who?
Killorn.
Here we go, right here.
Killorn
4.45 till 23-24.
Oh, there's another big trade.
But again, so he has a no trade clause.
Yeah,
does he?
Yep, he does.
Another
nobody's gonna want to
as
move
well
that.
as Tyler Johnson.
So Callahan has a no move, no trade clause. Palat has a no trade clause. Johnson has a no trade clause.
And the worst part, need to go, or not that need to go, but if anybody's going to go, it's going to be one of those 4.
Then next season, Yanni Gord is currently making $1 million. Next season,
jumps to 5.
I believe it goes to 5.16.
Yeah.
Oof. They're lucky they even got him on that. He's looking.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that was a good signing. I think that was the first one that Brisebois actually oversaw.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna try and bridge Point then.
I mean, but those contracts are also long. If you look at all those, the only other contract that is long enough, so the one that you could outplay for the bridge would be Ryan Callahan's, and wait until his is up. Do a 2-year bridge deal.
Could do that. Keep him as an RFA that way at least.
Yeah, but I don't know if you'd go for it. It depends. If they win the cup this year, I think he's.
If you win the
looking
cup
for
this year,
money.
it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. However, though, I think if we win the cup this year, it doesn't matter now. He's looking for money. He already won the cup. He's not looking. He doesn't really care to stay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as big of a deal as it would be. It wouldn't be. He wouldn't be as to stay for a bridge deal to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also wonder if it's going to be an offer seat situation for Tampa as well. 'Cause there's just so many RFAs this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then in the RFA territory, we have Cedric Paquette, RFA at the end. Adam Ernie, RFA at the end of the season.
Danik Martel,
RFA, and Brain Point RFA. So that's 4 RFAs.
So Danik Martel, he kind of showed up a little bit. I'm trying to think, somebody who was hurt. It was JT Miller was hurt for a little while, and so Danik Martel showed up and was jumping in the lines. He's a pretty good player. He had that one nasty spin pass. Did you guys see that?
Well, that's all he's had this season.
Pretty much.
But
he's got wheels.
He's got 5 games played, 1 assist, +3, 6 pins.
Yeah, kid's got wheels though. He's a speed demon.
So I mean, it's going to be a tight situation. We're not even going to get to the defense or goalies this episode because we're already running long and we still got to do our predictions. Which means, Kyle, you definitely have to come on for at least one more episode.
All right. Sign my bridge deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got anything else to say about the Lightning's cap situation, their contracts, what's coming up?
I think for this year, we'll be all right. I think we might make, a trade or two just to make some space maybe for next year. But nothing really. I mean, we'll probably stay the way we are just to, see if that's what'll do it. And then we'll figure it out next year.
Yeah.
They do the advantage of Point being an RFA and that they don't have to make this decision on July 1st, right?
Correct.
They can kind of spread it out over the summer a little bit, kind of do the Toronto thing.
Yeah, they really don't have any. They have no UFAs. Well, actually, they do in the defense.
All the defensemen,
All the defensemen. But forward wise, they have no UFAs this season, so they do have a little bit of. They got a little bit of wiggle room in the contract negotiations on forwards.
Yep.
All right, boys, let's jump ahead to our predictions. Kyle will get you in on this. So what we do, right? We predict the score, who wins, and then if you have any hunches about maybe someone gets a hat trick or the goalie that's going to start in this game gets a shutout or something like that, let me know, because if somehow you predict it correctly, you get some bonus points and you look cool.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So we'll start.
Always gotta look cool. We'll style here and there.
First game of the evening, and actually only game for Winnipeg this week. I believe that Winnipeg goes on their bye week this week. Winnipeg plays Dallas tonight at 7. So Kyle, you are the guest. What do you think? This is in Dallas. So Winnipeg in Dallas tonight. I
think Winnipeg takes it 3-1. It's my opinion.
3-1 win. All right.
Got anything special to say about it, or
no? I think it'll just be a pretty regular game.
All right. Chris will definitely be happy about that one. You're already higher in Chris's books than Dalton is.
Yeah, I piss them off all the time. It's great. Speaking of, I think Dallas is going to win 4-0.
Oh.
Oof.
Is that Bishop with the shutout?
Is he even playing? I thought he was broken.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not gonna say who's gonna. No, we'll change it to a 4-1, just so I don't have to say who gets the shot.
To a 4-1. A 4-1. All right. And then I guess I'm gonna go because we really need to lose, and I really only think about this in the terms of what the Oilers need. So I'm gonna say Winnipeg wins this game. I'll say 5-2.
All right. Pretty high scoring game.
All right, moving on. Next game. Dalton, we're going to start with you on this one. The Battle of Alberta. Round
Oh, shit,
Always
dude.
a tough one.
Man, there's no way I'm going to be impartial here. Here we go. Oilers win 5-0.
Yes. Who gets the shutout? Koski Bear?
I can't. Who's the starting goalie for tonight?
I think it's at home, so it has to be Koski.
You think, right?
I don't trust Talbot.
I don't know if I trust Koskinen either.
Let's fire up the old Google machine again. Starting goalies. There we are. Let's find out if they have announced who is starting. All the way to the bottom. It is Mikko Koskinen. Is not confirmed, but likely.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll give Koskinen the shutout then. It is at home. He gets all the shutouts there.
You're right. All right, with the Koski shutout.
Yeah.
Kyle, what do you think, buddy?
I'm gonna. This is gonna be an unpopular opinion on this.
Oh
pod.
no!
Oh man!
But I
so
say,
good too.
Personal opinion. I say Flames take it 4-3 in overtime.
In overtime. Get out of here, that garbage. At least make it a shootout, my dude.
Oh no! Heartbreaking. Okay. I'm gonna say, Flames suck. So
Right.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 3-2 win. No empty netter. So I'm not gonna write it down, but I'm gonna say the Oilers are gonna be up 3-0, and the Flames almost tie it.
Both goals with like a minute left or something.
Something like
I mean,
that.
a couple studs going head to head.
Yeah.
The Connor McJesus, obviously,
Okay, so
and Johnny Hockey.
Yeah,
we're not gonna write it down, but we all have the Oilers scoring more than one goal. How many points does McDavid get?
4-point night. He's getting every single one.
All right. So Kyle, you got the Oilers scoring 3. What do you think?
I think he gets 2. I think he gets 2 points, goal and an assist.
All right.
That seems so reasonable.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna say I've got 3 goals. I'm gonna say McDavid's in on all of them. 3-point night. I'm gonna say 2 goals and an assist. All right. Then in a back-to-back situation at home again. So this one, Talbot will definitely be in net. The Edmonton Oilers take on Carolina tomorrow night. I'm gonna start this one off. I'm gonna say we're gonna victimize Nino Niederreiter, and we're gonna beat them 4-1. Kyle, go with you.
I agree on that one. I think Oilers take it 3-0, 3-bagel.
3-0.
Yeah.
So Tal Beast with the shutout.
I'm giving it to him.
All right.
Beauty. You know what? I'm gonna call a 2-1 Oilers victory. Bit of a closer game this time.
All right. And then to close the week out, because actually next week will be a very boring pod. Oilers have a bye week next week.
What are you saying that for? Like, we gotta hype it up. Talk about the All-Star game.
You're right. It's gonna be a hype episode, All-Star game. Super fun. Playing at home Detroit on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
Much
Michael
exciting.
And Chris are
Wow.
gonna battle to the death. It's gonna be a fun game.
All right. So Kyle, no, I'll have Kyle finish it off. Dalton, start.
Yeah. Wait, who's playing?
Dalton, Detroit at home. In
Detroit.
In Edmonton.
Oh, okay. 3-1 Oilers victory.
3-1. All right. Good to see you're nice and partial there, buddy.
Well, eventually near the end, you gotta calm her down a little bit.
All right. I'm gonna predict we all have a shutout at some point in the week. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 2-0 Kosk Bear shutout.
Koski.
Interesting call.
Man, you're gonna be. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll give it a 4-2, as Maya would say. Oily boys win.
All right.
Ooh.
Maya is my girlfriend there, Dalton, and she refers to the Oilers as the Oily Boys.
Honestly, probably one of the best names I've ever heard.
So whenever I'm like, babe, I gotta watch the game tonight, she goes, yay, go Oily Boys. And she actually likes to do this thing while we're riding in the car called Maya's Hockey Corner, where she just spouts nonsense about names she's heard say in passing.
That
sounds about right.
You should record that instead of this.
Get it on the show, just
Yeah.
or like a little. And now we bring to you Maya's Hockey Corner, and then it's basically like Connor McDavid is really fast, and he scores a lot of goals, and the Flames are smelly.
Absolutely.
Flames are smelly.
Yeah, that is basically the entirety of Maya's Hockey Corner. All right, so first off, we like to give a big thank you for my buddy Kyle coming on the show. I hope you enjoyed, buddy.
I did.
And
Much fun.
Right, and we'll definitely have to get you back on because Tampa is in an interesting situation, and it's good to have you on, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Had a lovely time. What a debut for me.
Yeah, good debut.
You did pretty good there, kid.
Yeah, for your rookie episode, I'll say you did pretty well. So this was episode 13 of South of the Blue Line podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Blue Line South. You can follow us on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, anywhere you listen to your podcast at South of the Blue Line podcast. I am Michael. Kyle is our guest. Dalton in Calgary. Let's go Oilers, and we'll see you all next week.
Let's go, boys.
Let's go.